Emancipation is here. Just remember, not everyone wants us free, but are continuing to do their work to keep us exactly where we are, because they see us as something or a people that does not deserve anything good. There are many strange things happening online, but we have to do what we have to do in order to continue so that our children and grandchildren will have a better existence. Just remember that emancipation was our ancestors' victory over many years of struggle. Adolf Hitler came to power on the 30th of January 1933 when he was appointed Chancellor of Germany by President Paul von Hindenburg. Later that year, after Hindenburg's death, on August 2nd, 1934, Hitler combined the offices of President and Chancellor, assumed the title Führer, and became Germany's absolute dictator. On February 27, 1933, the Reichstag building, which housed the German parliament, caught a fire in an event known as the Reichstag Fire. The Nazi government quickly blamed the fire on a Dutch communist who was arrested at the scene. Historians debate whether he acted alone or whether there were others involved, but there is no definite evidence proving the Nazis themselves started the fire. The day after, which was the 28th of February 1933, the Hindenburg signed the Reichstag Fire Decree. At Hitler's urging, the decree suspended all civil liberties, including freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, privacy, allowed the arrest without trial. The Nazi government detained thousands of political opponents, especially communists. This is a story that many persons of African descent would not put together with emancipation. But there is a bigger story at play here. Many times over and over, when God is working His way, people tend to try to do their own thing and try to overpower God's hand. Without Adolf Hitler, there would have been no World War II. Without World War II, many African nations would not have become independent as soon as they did. World War II bankrupted the European powers. They no longer had the strength nor the military might to control the colonies. So they had no choice but to allow the colonies to go free for a while. Many tried to hold on as long as possible in an attempt to continue the plunder of the resources, but they were not able to. Also in this story is the Trinidad or the West. In this story is the West Indian Regiment, where black persons of African descent, fought against God's will in order for us to go free and become independent. Without Adolf Hitler, there is no World War II in the way that we know it. And Trinidad and Tobago would not have become independent in 1962. We would have eventually become independent, but not at the time that we did. The story here is yet again, God always has to fight against a small group of Africans in order for the larger group to benefit. So as we celebrate emancipation, remember God's will would be done, is being done, and will continue to be done. So the fact that the African community is now at the heels of the UNC government by what some of us did to ourselves. It's not the first time. Every time the African man goes free, there's always a war. When you think about the American Civil War, in order to unite the nation, the government, which was the Union, which was known as the Union at the time, had to fight against the Confederates in order to become a united nation, or what we know today as the United States. But in order to destroy the Confederates, they had to destroy the plantocracy, because the South depended heavily on agriculture, and the backbone of agriculture then was slaves. In World War II, in order for the African nations to be free, God had to weaken the European nations. But many Africans fought and died in order for the plundering and colonization to continue. When a people is not in tune with God, they fight against God's will to enslave themselves. So, happy emancipation to all, but remember, God's will would be done.